Back in 1960, in the quiet streets of Paris, something happened that would change everything. The world was embroiled in the Cold War, a shadowy game of espionage and power. Among the major players, France found itself caught in the crossfire, navigating a minefield of alliances and enemies. In the bustling cafes of Paris, French officials were engaged in a delicate dance with the Soviet Union. Yet, beneath the surface, a darker plot was brewing, one that would reveal the depths of governmental intrigue and deception. French intelligence, keen to destabilize Soviet influence in Europe, embarked on an audacious plan, Operation Ratline. This covert operation aimed to infiltrate Eastern Bloc nations with disinformation and, more disturbingly, chemical agents disguised as food supplies. The plan was simple yet sinister. Infect the populace subtly, creating chaos that would lead to civil unrest. Agents were trained in the art of subterfuge, mastering the craft of blending in as ordinary citizens. Meanwhile, in Hungary, whispers of food shortages and unusual illnesses began to circulate. Families were mysteriously falling ill after consuming contaminated meat. Living in a totalitarian regime, many didn't question the state narratives, but a sense of unease began to spread like wildfire. Back in Paris, intelligence reports confirmed something astonishing. The illnesses were consistent with a poisoning strategy, the result of Operation Ratline. Fear gripped the French leadership, divided between the need for action and the moral implications of their tactics. As time wore on, the conspiracy deepened. In the early 1970s, investigative journalists stumbled onto hints of this operation while digging through a series of unexplained illnesses affecting Eastern Europe. They connected the dots, revealing a timeline that pointed back to Paris and the French government. But the higher-ups worked diligently to keep this information suppressed, valuing national security over transparency. By the end of the 1980s, with the Iron Curtain beginning to falter, the truth about Operation Ratline started to seep into public discourse. In an unexpected twist, former operatives came forward, confessing the role they played in these insidious tactics and exposing the moral bankruptcy of their mission. The scandal erupted, shaking the political foundations of France. In 1991, amidst the final collapse of the Soviet regime, the lingering effects of Operation Ratline were still being felt. The very fabric of European trust had been frayed, leaving a dark shadow over diplomatic relations that would take decades to heal. Historians later described it as one of the most significant yet hushed operations of the Cold War. The fallout led to a sweeping inquiry into the ethics of espionage and the lengths governments would go to in their bid for power. Paradoxically, Operation Ratline was hailed by some as a necessary evil in the fight against communism, while others condemned it as a moral catastrophe that never should have happened. Years later, in the late 1990s, the story resurfaced in documentaries and academic papers, giving voice to the victims and sparking a broader discussion about the use of psychological warfare and bioweapons in espionage. Ultimately, Operation Ratline became not just a footnote in history, but a stark reminder, a testament to the destructive potential of fear, betrayal, and the awful lengths to which nations would go in the name of politics.